The criminal trial raping and sexually assaulting children is coming to a close after closing arguments were made in the case this morning. Our Justin Gould joins us live from Chautauqua County Courthouse in Mayville with more on this stomach-turning case. Justin?
The details presented over this weeks-long trial are absolutely heartbreaking, as we heard from law enforcement and victims alike. This morning, the prosecution and defense, they laid out their closing arguments before a jury ultimately deliberates, deciding the fate of Dustin Post. The 24-year-old faces several felonies surrounding the alleged sexual assault and rape of children. Throughout the course of the trial, we heard from his victims, including an 11-year-old who testified to Post's alleged acts, specifically that the Silver Creek man, during his sister's birthday party, took the then 6-year-old up to his bedroom, blindfolding her for a game where he sexually abused her. The youth testified that Post showed her video he captured of this act. Once that party concluded, Post took the girl home only after making one more stop to a local hiking trail where the abuse allegedly occurred again. She was once one of only a handful of innocent young victims which came forward during this case. The jury's task ahead to decide his fate, ultimately following this emotionally charged trial. Now, Post's attorney today, Chautauqua County Public Defender Ned Barone, he asked the jury during his closing arguments just an hour ago if they're able to separate emotion from fact, outlining gruesome details of evidence and testimony, he argues, which doesn't go beyond a reasonable doubt. Barone highlighted the role of the 6-year-old mother who barely knew him. She let her child go with him to the party. The mother testified in court last week she didn't even know where in Silver Creek the daughter was at the time of the gathering. Now, prosecutors, meanwhile, they're doubling down on the amount of evidence laid out over the course of the trial. Right now, they're wrapping up their closing arguments. While alone, each is just a piece of the puzzle. DA Jason Schmidt says from interviews with police recorded and recordings of these sexual assaults, they all come to achieve the burden of proof. Now, specifically, just moments ago, Schmidt highlighted an interview with New York State Police in Fredonia, where Post admitted on tape and handed over videos of these horrible sexual assaults. Schmidt outlining what he believes is Post admitting to the crimes, telling New York State Police investigators that they rather listened and respected rather than leading him on in the admission, which were entered into evidence as part of this trial. Now, just in the last minute here, DA Jason Schmidt pulled out an easel and began to specifically outline various charges, connecting them to each victim to try to break it down for the jury, albeit objection from Post's attorney Ned Barone. We're, of course, continuing to follow this trial as it develops, and we presume we'll head into jury deliberations into the afternoon. It's still unknown how long deliberations might take. They could wrap up later today, continue in tomorrow, or even into next week. When we do get that breaking news about the verdict, guilty or not guilty, and what the stipulations are for each charge, we'll of course continue to update you. But for now, reporting live in Mayville, I'm Justin Gould, WNY News Now.
Justin, thank you. We will continue to follow this story and provide updates when available online at WNYNewsNow.com.